So, hello everyone, and welcome to the weekly Harbor Satellite uh, community meeting regarding the progress of the project. And now we are talking about the proposal. So, first off, I'll make some comments to this one, and I think you just basically copy it, right? So I can just go ahead and don't need to check that in close.
Yeah, I followed all your comments and just
All right, so yeah.
added them.
Okay, so I'll just need to resolve the conversation. Okay, so maybe we need to kind of look at that one, how you did this part here. Let me just go in this one. Did you make the?
Oh, did I not
Um,
pull? Wait.
wait, this refers registry proxy storing required was well, this is the wrong one. It's not a registry proxy. Because when we talk about, I think the naming is not, because we said registry proxy storing required OCI artifact, so it's not registry proxy. I think I made some mistakes here. Yeah. Yeah, I would say like this, because this is not a registered proxy, or are we talking about the other use case here? So the last use case where we can explicitly talk about a proxy here, but this is not. Yeah, it's satellite or satellite. Yeah.
Wait a second. I'm not sure if that's the updated version.
All right. So let me just.
Wait. Oh, it's not. Yeah,
It's not.
because it should be OCI registry and not registry proxy.
Okay. Let me just quickly on that one. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay. This is correct. OCI registry. That's correct. Yeah, the typical use cases. So the typical use case for 3. Yeah, it's the same. And then, yeah, so this is basically the container runtime configuration. It's also IoT need. I mean, from my side, it's okay to get started, right? So there are going to be other.
I think the most interesting there is to see what other people have to say outside of
Exactly. So we need to kind of push that one, and I'll review this one. All right. Good. So we have this now covered, and so probably the next public discussion about this going to be end of May, but I'll make sure that we can address this before, and that other maintainers have the possibility or opportunity to take a closer look at that. I mean, they have always the possibility, but reminding them to take a look before the meeting. Okay. Right. So then another task is to look today is at the progress of the project. So who would like to share some news or some?
Well, I worked on the first draft of the store, so we can check that out. I pushed it this afternoon.
Okay.
And I basically have two different implementations, let's say, of the store, because I found that you could use either to store the list of images in memory, you could either use the normal, just a map, or there was an alternative, the sync.map. And what I found was the Signal.map was more oriented towards high concurrency environments when there's a lot of read writes going at the same time. And the traditional map was more towards low concurrency. So I tried them both out and I wasn't sure which one to use, so I kept them both. And so yeah, we can maybe check that out. It's so in internal. Oh yeah, the 17 first draft of store. In the internal
and internal
store. And yeah, store to go. And I made some tests also for both of them. And from the test I did,
I mean, if you want to show, you can go ahead and you can share the screen. Right.
Please enlarge
yeah.
because I'm on the phone, so it's very difficult.
Okay. So, or you can navigate me and tell me where to focus.
So the first part is with the sync.map implementation. So if you scroll
the store in memory store list at
so what I did was pull a list of images from Docker Hub and then store them in the map. And every tick, I would do an update where it would check the remote images with the locally stored ones to make sure there aren't any new ones. And if there were new ones, it would update the local registry. Not registry, local in-memory store.
Yeah, look, in-memory store, right?
Yeah. And then the second part is, as I said, everything that's commented below is with the normal map.
Okay, so this is the okay.
So it like I don't think it's low or high concurrency. Just to like add a point regarding maps and concurrency or sync maps stuff. It's not the amount of concurrency, it's more of is the intention to access the data in a concurrent method. So maps in Go aren't thread safe. So if you're reading from on one thread and writing on another, you're going to end up with concurrency issues. So another alternative to this would be to use like just like read write mutex, and then just just block the mutex and yeah, when you're writing to it, and then just do the same for read operations, because obviously you can read multiple times, but you can only write once at a time. So that would be like just like kind of the reasoning behind this.
Yes, I did implement the locks because I read there could be issues if you would try to read and write at the same time and everything. So there are read write mutex locks in the second one.
Yeah.
What's going to access this map concurrently?
Exactly. That
yeah, the question is if it's like if that would happen or not. I guess it's
exactly.
I really don't see how routines would try to, yeah. It's because it's just a list of images, right?
Yeah. I wasn't sure either. So yeah.
My intuition here is that there's no need for either the sync or the mutex. A map will do just fine, and then if we need to introduce concurrent reads on this for whatever reason, then we'll handle it then.
Okay.
I mean, concurrent reads is happening, right? So I think the concurrent writes is the problem here, right?
Well, no, not really. Like if you're planning on reading and writing in different threads, you need some sort of mutex to lock this.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
So even if you're kind of not trying to write the same data or not, so it's like kind of generally writing to the map.
Yeah.
Okay.
My other comment there is I at least in the solution where you're fetching from Docker, like doing an HTTP request there, I think you implemented some sort of like check to see if the results are the same or different.
Yeah.
Yeah. A suggestion there is to just hash the data that you get back.
Oh, okay.
So if
Which
Yeah.
which
if you
result
get
is
the body there
Yeah.
on 137,
here, this one.
yeah. So
Oh,
if you just calculate a hash sum for that body and you
Mhm.
store that hash sum, you can basically do a really quick, like, sure, it's not going to validate if ordering changes, but if you don't expect ordering to change, you can basically just compare hash sums pretty quickly.
Yeah,
That's-
that's hadn't
yeah.
thought of that.
And ordering doesn't even really matter here, right? So it's not like a fall through priority list or whatever.
Mm.
It's just a suggestion just to simplify things there.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a good idea. Thank you.
And then you would use the hash as a key.
Or you just use the hash as like a change verification of basically
Oh, okay.
checking if the actual data has changed or not.
Okay.
So yeah, just hash the local images, the online ones, and compare the two hashes.
Yeah.
But I like Vadim's suggestion where you have a map with the hash as the key and the array of images as the value, and then you do the map lookup syntax for it.
Sure. Yeah, no, like it was just a quick idea. Like I think it's better. We can discuss this over the PR. It's just that there's like the two things that I saw immediately.
Okay.
My question is, sorry, go ahead.
No, I have no questions.
So this only works for HTTP endpoints, right? What if you want to have a local configuration file with a list of images defined there?
I would have to. Yeah, I hadn't.
We
taken
didn't
that
write the
into account.
ticket. We didn't write the ticket properly, but I'm pretty sure we've discussed that configuration option as well.
Yeah, yeah.
True, yeah.
That's
I'll
that's a
add
good
that to
point.
my notes.
So we need to generalize the image fetch list fetcher to
Path, what I would say, and then path can be a URL, and then can be a file path, and then you have to handle
Okay.
the cases between the two.
can path handle in Go also schemas, right? Like HTTP
I'm not sure.
as a data structure. Yeah, but anyway, so
I
we
was
need kind of a
just thinking string, but don't call it base URL, call it a path,
Oh,
and have
okay,
some
okay.
logic that checks on
Okay.
endpoint and have logic that checks on path. It's like, I know it's the noob version of it, but it
Yeah.
starts simple.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. So anyway, if there is a data structure for that in Go that fulfills the requirements, being we can use that. Otherwise, we just use a string in the
Yeah,
simplest
okay.
form. Okay. Okay, but this is progress already. Then in the next
One note, sorry,
Yeah.
just because it ties into the path thing.
Mhm.
Don't forget to have error checking on file path in Go when you write the code,
Yeah, okay.
because you can preemptively check for that.
Mhm.
We'll do that.
Okay. And yeah, then the next step would be to see how we can store this thing on something different than in memory, right?
Yep, and that's on me. But I only have Fridays to work on this, so I'll
Okay.
try to get it done because last Friday I did the pipeline fix, which
Mhm.
was more painful than expected.
Yeah, it was really complicated. But
I actually left like a pretty long post on that GitHub, like the discussion, because it's just so obscure and it's
yeah,
near impossible to like find it
it
without
is
trial
not
and error.
it is not obvious, right? So nobody could kind of duplicate. Um, uh, open up because it's a bit of a kind of a workaround mostly because I think it's it's not supported as we would like it. So we have to first label it. We have to first create labels, and then based on the labels, we can then decide if we want to run it or not. So here is the condition.
Yes.
So,
And the reason for that is because the path trigger doesn't work on pull request review events. The
mhm.
syntax allows it. It doesn't fail on execution, but it simply doesn't evaluate it properly.
Yeah.
So it will trigger on everything because it's an or, not an and evaluation, but only on that specific trigger.
Okay. Yeah. So we have Roald, I would suggest you open up a PR for that and move this PR in work in progress so that we have this kind of the pull request present. Yeah, you don't have to create a new pull request kind of a ready to merge. I think you can mark it as a work in progress, but then we can have a kind of option to discuss and contribute to that because on a branch. Yeah, branch is a bit more difficult because you have no visibility on that, right? So
And
I would suggest,
draft PRs go a long way, man. So
yeah,
just put it in draft, keep working at it, add Philip or Vadim, or
yeah,
sometimes even me for the simpler stuff. And then we
yeah,
can like work on it asynchronously.
yeah. So there is a draft marker somewhere. Where's the draft marker? Um,
Drop down. So if you go to the green button, there's a drop down option on it.
yeah, perfect. Yeah. So you can do that. And yeah, and then we can have the discussion on the PR and with comments and everything, right? So I would
Just
suggest doing that.
what's
You
the difference between a draft PR and a normal PR?
Well, it just indicates that you should not merge it, and probably the merge button is not active, right? Um,
I think it
it's
also stops GitHub Actions from running. If I remember
oh yeah,
correctly.
okay,
Yeah, unless you specify that trigger or like that event
Yeah.
in your pipelines. So,
Okay.
but
but the
we
advanced
are unapproved. We are unapproved anyway, so
yeah,
it won't run until it's approved.
yeah, yeah, and so this will then be a bit easier to collaborate. What other issues do we have? There are quite a few branches now. Yeah, so I think we can close those branches that are not used anymore, right? So for example, yeah, I think we need to kind of clean up
Yeah, I think that can be configured on a repo level as well. I'll look into it. That it does it automatically.
I think you need to on the settings probably there's option
Yeah.
to
In the past, it used to be there is a tool called Bulldozer that did it for you. But I think GitHub implemented the feature natively. Yeah,
okay.
I think it's somewhere there, but
Is
it's super small.
it automatically delete?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, this one is. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect. All right. So, what are the other topics we would like to discuss? On the progress side, right? So let me just click on the project. We have, the satellite component. The store satellite component and the RFC. So there's all on Roald side. Yeah, and the PR template. Is this already?
No, it's
No.
but
We need to work on a.
it's a 20-minute
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I would say then, I mean, if there are other questions, I need to leave, and you can continue if you need to, or if you want to, and then we can, sync up later this week, and latest next Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I might not be able to make it next Tuesday. I'll have to see kind of where I am in the world at that time.
Okay. Good.
So
Great.
I'll try to make it.
Yeah, thank you very much, and
Yeah.
bye bye.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.